Gilmore off the glass, in and out, it's no good. Irving rebound. We're in the third quarter in New York. It is the Nets 68, Kentucky 59. Dr. J short. Foul inside, and it's against Jim Bradley. New York has outscored Kentucky so far in this third quarter as Ron Thomas and John Roach are up off the bench. They'll be coming in momentarily. John Williamson against Chuck. Chuck stole the ball and then commits the foul. Game by either team. New York by 11. 70-59 over Kentucky. Dr. J went for the steal and instead gets the personal foul. That's his third. Thomas back to Louis Dampier. On the right side out front, John Roach, 23-footer short on the floor. Ron Thomas scoops it up for Kentucky. To Louis Dampier. Louis looking for some help. Gets it over to John. Roach drives through the lane to Louis Dampier. 15-footer in the bag. Dampier.
What the Nets are doing, the off guard is sliding back to cover up and help Artis.
Billy Paultz.
That's his favorite spot. He's trying to take Artis away from the basket. Artis is in a dilemma. He's got a tough choice. Either go out after him, leave the basket unprotected, or give him the shot.
Ron Thomas, right side, puts it up. Short. Rebounded by Larry Keenan over to John Williamson. 72-61 New York by 11. Nets with the basketball. Third quarter. About 6 minutes to go. Thomas trying to get the ball away. Can't do it. Irving.
Before he could be called for goaltending. Now, Artis was way on the other side of the basket that time, or I'm going to start wearing glasses because I don't see how that could call, but it was.
Kissel on the floor. Irving scoops it up for New York. The Nets lead by 13 in this opening game of the playoffs. Brian Kent down, 15-point lead.
Well, again, the Colonels were looking for help when someone got by, and Artis was away from the basket, and that time he couldn't help, and New York net guard went right in and scored all the way.
Roach saw Dampier inside, tried to get it to him. Irving, or New York, stole the ball, and Thomas steals it back for Kentucky. Ron Thomas up and in.
Good pass from Louis Dampier.
What a fantastic third quarter so far for New York. 76-63. The Nets leading Kentucky by 13. A lot of time left, however. 5:16 third quarter.
All we need is a hot streak. Someone for the Colonels to start knocking in. 4 or 5. Help.
Wheel and deal.
Keenan. John Williamson fakes against Roach. Irving. Off the glass. No good.
New York Nets with 4:56 to go in the third period.
Billy Paultz against Artis Gilmore. Back out to Red Robbins and to Louis Dampier. Around the screen, looking inside, can't find anybody. Ron Thomas on the baseline, right side. Dampier fakes, can't shoot. Goes baseline, he is pushed out of bounds by Larry Keenan.
Well, that's an ABA rule for you, Dave. I refuse to comment.
We're in the third quarter, 4:41 remaining. 76-63, New York leading Kentucky by 13. John Roach, three-pointer. In and out, it's no good. Robbins rebounds, but tries to put it back up, and Mike Gay. New York with a 12-point spread on Kentucky right now. 76-64. 4.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Mike Gale in control, left side. Keenan, turnaround jumpers, no good. Lost out of bounds. It'll belong to Kentucky.
Dave, every fantastic streak here in the third quarter. The Colonels now have to play a little defense until they have an opportunity to make their own streak.
Kentucky with it. Gilmore. Gilmore misses the second one. 76-65. New York by 11. Williamson fakes, now puts it up. No good. Short. Rebounded. Offensive rebound, New York.
Line in the blue. Line in the blue.
Go up over you, and they're getting some of those. Now, those are the kind that really hurt when you block a man out and he still gets the rebound on you.
19 points in the game for Dr. J. Shot by Louis Dampier is no good. New York with it. 78-65. The Nets by 13 right now over Kentucky. 3.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Irving blocked by Gilmore.
Make an effort to go for the boards. He just keeps Artis off the boards.
Dampier all the way in. Drops it off to Ron Thomas, to Red Robbins, John Roach, to Gilmore. Tipped away by Paultz. New York with it. Mike Gale. Short, Dr. J. No good. Rebounded. Larry Keenan back up. Good. New York with its biggest lead. 17-point spread on Kentucky. 3 minutes, third quarter. Roach to Gilmore. Back to John. Williamson picks him up. Back to Artis. Gilmore. Ron Thomas on the offensive tip.
Dave, the guards have got to start shooting. I can't understand Roach not wanting to shoot here. He's played here before. He knows the court, and he'd want to be a hero at home. He ought to be busting that ball instead of trying to get it into people. That's what caused the last basket.
All the nets are now sagging on Gilmore since the guards are not shooting. 82-67. New York by 15. 2.5 minutes, third quarter. Fultz out front. Dumps it inside. Keenan with it. Off the glass, no good. Tipped up, good.
I can't believe they let him have that basket. Now, that ball was on the rim when it was touched.
John Roach, baseline. Shot, no good. Brad Robbins back up and in. 3 points in the game. Lost it. New York with a 15-point lead in the closing minutes now of the third quarter as Dan Issel comes back in for Kentucky. 84-69. The Nets by 15. Irving. Dr. J making his move. 13 points in this third quarter for Julius Irving. 25 in the game. Louis Dampier. Shot won't fall for him.
Playing center. Colonels are doing a little bit of pressing.
New York breaks it. Irving, right side, operating against Dan Issel. Will bring it back out high. 1:25 to go, third quarter. 15-point New York Bulls. 86-71. Fultz with it right side. Issel defensively. Hook shot off the glass, no good. Dampier gets it for Kentucky. 1:10 remaining, third quarter. Gale picks up Louis, pulls up short, passes it off. Dan Issel up. No, it wouldn't fall again. 20 points in the game for Dan Issel. Mike Gale fouled in the backcourt by Dan Issel.
That was a good call. Dan went for the
Carolina series. Looked like a Sunday school picnic.
Well, that was I don't know how to compare it except it's like a lightweight fight and a heavyweight fight now. This is the heavyweights tonight.
Dampier by Willie Sojourner, and Louis is real.
Man, that's a foul.
Inbounds pass to Ron Thomas. 15-point New York lead. 42 seconds remaining, third quarter. Dampier up. Boy, he had to work for that one.
He certainly did, but the time was running out, so you have to take the shot. And fortunately, Louis is like Dan Issel. If he gets around the basket, he'll get off a fairly good percentage shot.
18 points in the game for Louis Dampier. 25 seconds remaining, third quarter. 18 on the shot clock. 88-75, New York leading Kentucky by 13. Defensively, Dampier. Offensively, Gale drops it off to Sojourner. 7 seconds on the shot clock. John Williamson backing in against John Roach. 4, 3 seconds, 2, off balance. Oh, goodness.
1 second to go on the clock.
2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Roach will not get it off. That's the end of the third quarter with a score. New York 90, Kentucky 75.
You've got to start hitting, start shooting, and start hitting.
Kentucky gets the opening tip for this fourth quarter. Issel takes it all the way down. Billy Fultz and Julius Irving both getting a rest right now.
Right. Well, right now, the first 5 minutes of this period could tell if the Colonels could get in close and make it a 4 or 5 point ball game, be different. But if they get down another 4 or 5, it's going to be a lot tougher.
Gilmore had it, lost it. Simon picks it up for Kentucky. The Colonels down by 13. Walt Simon moves to his left side, puts it up. It is good. And that's his best move to the left.
Right. That's an indication that if he hits that first one, he'll shoot from here on in. And you can already see that Kevin Laugher is not taking any chances with a 11-point lead. He's getting in his big men. He's getting Big Fultz back into the ball game.
Larry Keenan, right side, his shot. Good. Keenan, 16 points for Larry in the game so far. Averaged 17 in the playoff series against Virginia. Tried to force it inside and hit the bottom of the backboard. New York winds up with it. Nets leading Kentucky by 13. 92-79. We're in the fourth quarter. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the game. Ladner to Larry Keenan. Fakes, puts it up. Good.
Well, I said before the game that Keenan is a key, and right now he's proving it because Irving has got his 25 points, and you can expect him to get it, but you don't expect Keenan to get 16. 3 periods of play.
94-81, New York by 13. Williamson, Gale operating at the guards right now for the Nets. Billy Paultz, he's had a fine game. In control of Wendell Ladner from long range.
You can't let him shoot. You know, he gets fired up before a crowd like this, especially playing against Kentucky, and he'll shoot that ball, and he has a good motion. Sometimes you may disregard him on other things, but he can shoot. Kentucky in the first period shot 9 out of 18. New York 14 out of 26. Fantastic.
Gilmore, baseline, can't shoot.
3.
Louis Dampier, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Issel. Back up, missed it. New York on the move. Dr. J. I think he tried to pass it.
That wasn't a shot. That was a pass, really.
Kentucky comes up with it. John Roach into the front court. 96-81. New York by 15. Roach all the way in. Off the glass. No good. Julius Irving with a rebound to Mike Gale. Williamson right side. Pulls up. Puts it airborne. No good. Foul called. It's against Walt Simon.
13 points for Williamson. And there's another rebound. Took a New York bounce. 2 points basket by Mike Gale.
18-point lead. New York. The biggest lead of the game. 99-81. Dampier goes all the way in, lays it up. It's good. Foul call.
Fouls on Billy Paultz.
Point lead. Louis Dampier, 21 points.
Hold the Nets for about 4 or 5 minutes with a few points. It'll give you a little something to work with, and to get the Colonels fired up, but if they exchange baskets from here on in, it'll be all over.
Billy Paultz, defensively, it's Dan Issel. Trying to back his way in. Jumper, no good. Off, tipped by Mike Gale in the foul against leading an assist in the league. Sometimes I think he wants to lead too much in assists and forgets about shooting. Right into the hands of Mike Gale. Puts it up, a little bit short. Rebounded by Simon and Gale on his back.
Getting plenty of shots from the outside, and he should take them. There's Williamson backing off. You can tell 4 feet he's backing off.
99-84, New York by 15. Kentucky in need of a basket here. Lead pass to Dan Issel. Back to Joe Hamilton. He's up for good. Hamilton with 5 points in the game. 8 minutes remaining. 13-point lead, New York. Wendell Ladner, left side, takes the jumper. Way short. Chuck Williams clears it for Kentucky. Joe Hamilton operating against Mike Gale. Fakes, can't shoot. To Chuck Williams. Back to Little Joe. Round the screen, set by Gilmore. Shot, no good. Gilmore went for the hit, couldn't get it. Paultz.
Ball bounced the wrong way. Gilmore was there. He would have dunked it. New York wants a timeout.
7:34 remaining in this basketball game. Timeout on the court. The score, the Nets 99, the Colonels 86, and we'll be back after.
The Colonels are behind 99-86 with 7:30 to go in the ball game. Defense is going to have to take over to hold the Nets until the Colonels can get their offense going. There's plenty of time. You can't afford to get back behind anymore. And there's a foul on Walt Simon. Good push Julius Irving because he's going to get the shot off. And he's such a great shooter and dangerous shooter. And there he goes one-on-one.
Irving drops it over to Mike Gale. His jumper good.
And that's one the Colonels didn't expect because in their pregame strategy, they said let Gale have the shot, but try to help on Irving. And that time when Joe did, Gale was open and he hit it.
10 points in the game for Mike Gale. Chuck Williams over to Walt Simon. Walter's shot. He's hot. 2 minutes to go.
Lots of time, Dave. Just a little calmness here, a little defense.
Paultz. Defensively, it's Gilmore. On the right side, drops it off to Mike Gale. On the screen, Mike again. Oh, he's hot.
No, you can't give shots like that. If you get picked off, you've got to get help. You've got to switch, but you just can't let Gale go around as he did on the pick and score.
Simon, nice move against Julius Irving.
Certainly did. I think that amazed Julius because that's one of Julius's moves, not Walt Simon's. He a great fake to the middle, then reversed, went to the baseline. Irving just stood there and watched him.
103-90 New York. in the lead. Billy Paltz. Left side.
See, that's what makes him so tough. You give him the shot, he hits it. If you play him tight, he's gone. If he gets near the basket, he must have 1,001 different ways to shoot the ball.
Hamilton.
3.
In and out, it's no good. Gilmore with a rebound. Fakes, puts it back up, good.
That's like the foresight. Give him the basket. Don't worry about anything else.
105-92. New York still with that 13-point spread on Kentucky. 5.5 minutes remaining in this basketball game. Irving facing up and in.
Kentucky forgot to help on a weak side. Simon had to front Irving. They got the ball to Irving. He just went for the basket. No one was there to help. And he's near that close to the basket. He's going to score.
Walt Simon fakes. Drops it back off to Chuck Williams. On the baseline, his jumper in and out. It's no good. Rebounded by Dr. J. Irving will set it up with 5 minutes on the clock, and it's 107-92.
The Nets have obviously slowed it down. They're going to slow it down. Because ordinarily, Julius Irving would have made a great move for the basket on anyone guarding him. He's going to make one here, too.
Billy Paltz. Wendell Ladner. There's no shooting.
No. You talk about someone coming back to haunt you. The darn Ladner has, and Gale, too.
Both of them are in double figures tonight. 10 points for Wendell, 12 for Mike Gale. Hamilton around the screen. Puts it up. Short. Balance off the foot of Artis Gilmore. New York.
Nets at their best in Lexington on March 16th when they won in overtime 114-12. But that night it was all Julius Irving. But tonight it's a lot of New York Nets, and they're all doing a super job. They're playing basketball the way it should be played.
Super balance tonight for New York.
That's exactly right.
Ball tip Irving.
Sounds like the Gladiators.
Dr. J back to Billy Paltz on the right side against Artis Gilmore. Hook shot. Oh, my goodness.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and tonight everything is going right for the New York Nets.
Simon hits 8 points in the game for Walt Hall here in the final quarter. 111-94. It's all over with the final score.
Depends on how much the Nets want to do, whether Lowry wants to substitute and save for Monday, or does he want to run the score up?
3.5 minutes remaining in the game. 111-94 New York. They have been tremendous in this second half. Hit, no good. Kentucky with it. Hamilton. The Nets are pulling all the strings the right way tonight.
Everything they've touched tonight has turned to gold. I'd say tonight the Nets came to play, and the Colonels are not exactly up to par for this game.
Ladner. Julius Irving.
Well, that's one of Ladner's favorite tricks. If you remember, he'd get up in the air and fake a shot, and you'd think he was going to shoot it, but it was a pass, and that time was one of those lob passes to Julius Irving, and he made it.
Gilmore drops it off to Walt Simon. 10 points in this quarter for Walt. 113-96, New York. By 17. Ryan Taylor to Wendell, all the way out front to Billy Paltz. 2.5 minutes remaining in the game, and the chant is for number one, as led by Dancing Harry.
I've seen it all. You know, one consolation, Dave, if you're going to get beat, it'd be better to get beat by 10, 12, 14, 15 points in 1 or 2.
Hamilton, nice move by Little Joe, takes it all the way inside. 7 points for Hamilton, but 33 points for Julius Irving, and yet Julius Irving has not been the difference in this game. Hamilton, lead pass, Walt Simon, Ladner defensively, takes it inside, blocked by Gale, foul against Mike Gale. Have just gone out of the 4 inside people for New York. Irving, Keenan, Paltz, Ladner.
Yes, and usually you don't see that happen to the Kentucky Colonels. Their guards may be outscored, but not their inside men. I would think that Walt Simon tonight on his play in the second half may have earned himself a starting job for Monday night's game.
Gale, 1:20 remaining in the game. 15-point lead, New York. Turnaround jumper. There's nothing you can do tonight as Dr. J has 35.
You know, if I had a valuable piece of property like that, I don't think that I'd leave him in a ball game now that it's out of reach.
Hits, but it's a little bit too late.
He should have started doing that sooner. You hit from the outside, you make the defense honest. If you don't hit and don't shoot from the outside, they sag back and shut off your inside men, as the Nets obviously have done tonight to the Kentucky Colonels.
Less than a minute remaining in the game. 52 seconds. It's 117-102 New York. Mike Gale. He's off. Rebounded by Joe Hamilton as he picks it up off the deck. 40 seconds remaining in the game. Walt Simon fakes. Can't put it up. Collis Jones inside. Missed everything. But Robbins is in the right place at the right time.
This game here, they were hoping that they could stay. Now, Nets are going to be up for that ball game as they are for this. And I really think this is one time when a crowd gave the Nets a big hand. This is a very enthusiastic and a knowledgeable crowd.
Back out front to Mike Gale. 23 seconds remaining in the game. Wendell Ladner, three-pointer misses. By Larry Keenan.
Another mistake by the Colonels, throwing the ball in. Taylor intercepts it, and there goes Keenan again.
Tipped up, rolls off, tipped up again, good.
No good.
Basket. Basket interference on New York. The goal will not count. 119-104 is the way it stands right now. New York is won with 9 seconds remaining. We are only waiting a final score.
Right. You know, Larry Keenan, the more I see of him now, the more I'm impressed that he is the Rookie of the Year. And he certainly has made that great transition from college ball at Memphis State to professional basketball. He looks like a pro out there instead of a rookie. Keenan, that Irving would get his, and that would be it. But Keenan has been fantastic with 20 points. And Red Robin just made 2 more free points. He's still shooting 1,000%.
The former Colonel will bring it in. To Wendell Ladner, tipped by Red Robbins. Walt Simon gets it up. It does not count. If it had gone, I think it would have, but it still does not change the outcome of this basketball game. New York 119, Kentucky 106. John, the New York from the Nassau County Coliseum. New York 119, Kentucky 106. We'll see you Monday night at 7 o'clock. John Dromo, this is Dave Conrad. Good night.
Right time to the right person. And when you need a
Fenders? About 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock? Did you spend the night here or did you start it?
Danny, you want to stand or just standing in front?
Out of sight, yeah.
Back up with the mics for a minute.
That's what I heard.
We got a set of keys.
About 5 or 6 people. I don't have any keys.
We'll get them for you.
Where's number 5? Who's number 5? Never mind. Go, John. Come on, John. Go.
Whenever there's criticism, there's need for a change, and I think, you know, I've improved over the years, hope to continue to improve, and, you know, to improve with the Nets. I'd like to have it that way anyway.
Who do you think is going to be the team you're going to have to beat? It looks like perhaps the Indiana Pacers might be a sleeper, do you think?
The Pacers are coming on strong. They're playing very well now. We just played them. They beat us out there. And every man on their team is a great, you know, ball player. So if they put it all together, they're going to be tough. But, of course, the team in the East is the Kentucky Colonels, I feel. We have to beat to get to the Indiana Pacers first.
It's going to go all the way, do you think?
We feel we have as good a chance as any ball club in the ABA to win the championship. To say we're going to go all the way, we feel we are, but again, you have to produce it, and you have to do the job on the floor. It's easier to talk about championships than produce them.
New York Nets not be the next champions of the ABA, it would seem fairly certain that their coach, Kevin Lowry, would be this year's Coach of the Year. This is Brian Madden in New York. Nets watching them in this scrimmage, they look like a very relaxed and loose team, but yet serious.
Very serious. Today, I think, was probably one of our most aggressive practices that we've had all season, and I think it's at a good time because we had 5 must games ahead of us, and, you know, we played San Antonio once, Denver twice, and they're probably the 2 most physical teams in the league. So I think the way to counter their being physical is to be physical with them, and with the talent that we have, if we play as aggressive during those games as we have in practice today, we shouldn't have any problem winning.
Jerry, I'm going to make it. Are you guys in front one again? Somebody's getting a left to right over, right? Are you getting a left to right? Jerry, can you get down a little minute while he's shooting? Oh, you bend down just a little bit. I'm doing it without film. These guys are doing it with film. Beautiful. Anytime you're ready. All right, my door. Just the one shot. Yeah. Okay.
Dean, what does a program like this mean to young basketball players?
Well, basically, it gives a lot of players a chance to be exposed to the public, plus it gives the public a chance to see a lot of the pros that they never got a chance to see during the year. I think it's a very spirited tournament. I think things will work out. The national championships will be something that will set a precedent.
What if they had had something like this when you were a kid? Do you think you would have learned a little bit more about basketball faster?
Definitely, I'll learn the basics more. You know, I don't know about the game itself.
What about playing on the field or in the streets? It's you get a lot of bad habits, do you think, that can be corrected by something?
New York and Denver are member franchises of the American Basketball Association. No franchise may withdraw from our league without first assigning all basketball-related property to the league and without obtaining the consent of the other trustees. This has not been done.
What happens if the NBA does decide to act favorably upon these applications? Mr. O'Brien has gone on record as saying that they will consider them.
Well, I think that it's his duty and job to consider them. However, I don't feel that they'll be approved.
Why do you say that?
Because I think that after they reviewed our bylaws, which perhaps they should be aware of, I feel that they'll turn it down.
Once you get up in the air and you explode, then comes the time when you relax, you know, and I guess this is where the gracefulness is shown.
Draw the turkeys into the fire.
We have to have a certain look. We have to have a certain proportion. We have to have an aesthetic line and form. An athlete doesn't necessarily have to have that. But somebody like the good doctor there, he's got it all. You know, he's got all the grace and all the moves and all the lines and all the timing. He would have made a great dancer. Basketball players quite often do such balletic things. We can recognize them and give them terms. Quite often guys will go up and they'll go around once. They'll do an air tour as they're heading for the basket. They'll fake one way and then go the other and go straight up in the air. And that is a particular move that we do.
Somehow he hangs in the air when others have to return to earth, leaping and turning in ways that seem to defy gravity. Impossible movement. There is a freedom of motion that suggests something outside the realms of basketball.
Every night you go and see a basketball game, you'll see many of the same type of moves that you see. If you went to a ballet studio,
Oh, no, I don't want to go near that place. I'm sorry to say, I don't want to. I want to play in the auditorium, convention hall, and then I hope to play other places in the state. He didn't do anything, honestly, because Jack is not that kind of guy. He didn't make any wild promises. I had my accountants go over it. I had my legal opinions on the thing.